Hi traders, I finally had some time to make this introduction to the updated profit release phase indicator. You can still use version 1 and 2, but I think for most of you who do not have time to do that much analysis and waiting for trades to set up properly, this is the best tool you will ever get your hands on. So what is the difference between version 3 and the previous version 2? First to say that this version gives a different kind of signal, which is a big improvement to version 2. And also not forget to mention, no matter what time frame you are on, the signal of version 3 is always based on the 1 hour time frame. No matter what time frame you switch to, let it be 1 minute, 5 minutes, one daily, weekly, it will always be the same signal. But the main difference is that version 3 is not an indicator anymore. It is a semi-automatic EA. So let's attach it to the chart first and then talk about some settings. Don't care about these inputs right now. And you can see if you when you attach it to the chart, when you press OK, your chart layout will automatically change to this white background, and you have several lines on the chart, and you also have these buy alert, sell alert, buy, sell, buy auto, sell auto, and close positions. And in the first place, I'm not going to take any instant orders right now, which would be the buy and sell button, because I'm on my live account and I don't want to put in an order right now. But what I can show you for now is that when you press a buy alert, it will highlight, and on the next long signal, you will receive a push notification or pop-up or whatever. And you can at the same time push the sell alert, and it will do the same for the sell alert, or can disable it again. But it will only generate, send you this alert for the particular pair that you have the EA enabled on. The next one I already said, it's like an instant order with take profit, stop loss, and it also puts in 1 market order and 3 pending orders, but we will get into that later when we put it in the strategy tester. And the most important part, because like during this current situation, I have kids at home, and my main focus will always be on the stop hunts method, because in my opinion it's still the best methods to get in for the best possible price. But you have to do a lot of analysis. You have to look at the chart when the signal comes up and decide, is this a good signal? And you have to enter at that point immediately. And for me, that was kind of hard to maintain this procedure with the current situation, working from home and having the kids at home and so on. And in the first place, I wanted to have these new signals also as an indicator. But right now, the idea came up to me to make like a buy auto, sell auto, and it's really helpful for me. I made a lot of trades with this method during the last 2 weeks, and I hope it will work well for you too. But let's talk about what we also have on the chart. You can see we have these, I don't know if you can see it in the video, but we have this dotted line that you have twice. One is right down below here. Then we have a little larger solid line, and if you zoom out further, you have this big solid line. And these lines simply show you support and resistance levels from, if you hover over the dotted one, that's the daily. You have the solid one, that's the weekly, and the big ones are the monthly support and resistance levels. I did not color them in this fashion like red and green, because just think about when price is coming from the upside to this, it does not need to be a support. It can also be like an old resistance level. So, but these levels are important, and I think what you should also not do is to take a signal just because it comes at this level. You need like a second edge to enter the trade. And this edge for me is still the steep trend line setup that I have my own video on the YouTube channel. And I think most of you know. If you don't, just let me know. I will send you the link to it. But the steep trend line setups are always like the best setups. And what I decided, what I'm going to do during the next weeks is I will keep you updated. If when I do my analysis in the evening, I don't select new pairs every day. That's definitely not going to happen. Sometimes it can happen that from one day to another I will make a new selection, but usually I wait for price to come near one of these levels, make a steep trend line setup, and then I press my buy auto or sell auto setup button and wait for the trade to be triggered. Sometimes it does not trigger because the rules are not fulfilled, because there definitely needs to be some sort of stop hunt, as you can see, for example, here below. Breakout traders got stuck in here and then broke the range to the upside, and then we got our entry signal, and the EA puts in one initial market order and two pending orders in case price pulls back. But when these get triggered, the take profit will get closer to current price. So I think that's really beautiful, because price is in like really rare cases going straight down. You will always have this pullback, and why not try to get in for a better price and take more money from a signal. What I wanted to tell you is that I'm gonna share my analysis, not directly analysis with screenshots and marked charts, because I don't have time for that. But you can be sure, if I send you a pair selection, that the price will be near such a level, and there is definitely some sort of steep trend line set up. And yeah, that's basically it. You just have to follow through, and hopefully you can do after a while the analysis on your own. But for now, and I don't know how long I'm gonna keep that up, if the situation changes and I will be focused more on stop hunts entirely, I probably won't make this selection anymore for you. But for now, you can be safe that I will do it for you. So let's jump into the strategy tester, and I'm gonna show you last week I took this trade also on GBP NZD. I think the lines looked different back then, because the support and resistance level changed, of course. But here was also like steeper trendline setup, and it came to a resistance level. I will show you this in the strategy tester right away. So yeah, and that was basically the trade. Like 3 pendings got triggered and hit the take profit. And I took another trade on gold, I guess. I don't remember. Yeah, but on gold, I guess I took one the same day. So yeah, let's jump into the strategy tester and see how this works. But first of all, maybe we take a look at the inputs tab. So you have the initial position volume, which is still, I changed mine, especially on this trade right here, because my account is bigger, and I usually increase my my lot size like this for the initial orders. But what you can do is you can leave it like that, or if you have a smaller account, you can go for this. The next one is the auto entry time start and auto entry time end. I try to most of the time, because most price movement happens during the Euro and the US session and the crossover, and usually I put this one to around 20 my broker time. And then, because all setups that happen after are can make a bad trade in my experience. What you have to do, definitely have to do, is to change the magic number every time you attach to a new pair. I'm working on a solution for that it does that automatically, but for now I just type in on my first chart 111, on the second one I type in 222. This can be like a tedious process sometimes, but after that you don't have to do anything anymore except for press buy auto, sell auto. So that's quite simple. Yeah, here you have the visual setup. The signal history shows you how many of these rectangular signals will be drawn in past history in candles, like 1,000 candles on the 1 hour chart. Here you can change the color. Here you have the lines, daily, weekly, and monthly, and can change these colors too. I would be careful about that's why I made it a dotted line, just the daily resistance. You have more higher probability when it comes to these bigger larger levels like weekly and monthly. So now in the strategy testers. So now we are in the strategy tester, and this is exactly the setup that I traded with the steep trend line. We had this weekly level up here, which price was getting closer to. We had this daily one as well, and I think already at that point, because it was this setup and the trend line got steeper, I already enabled my sell auto, and it went higher and higher and got really, and you can see how price pulls back to this trend line and the daily line already, and came closer to this one. Came closer to this level, and I just watched it again in the evening to see if price is reversing without me or not. And I think that's the day when it also triggered. Don't try to wait a second, I'm gonna pause the video. Yes, here now you can see we have had this auto entry put in the SL automatically, and the take profit was initially here, but as more pending orders got triggered, it went further up. And then it was just a waiting game, actually. Yeah, that's basically it. That's how it works. That's I think it's a really good method for the current situation, not just for the current situation for me in this situation, but also for you if you have a regular day job or don't have time to look at your charts the entire time. I think that is a great opportunity for everyone, and I hope you enjoy it, and until then, happy trading.